tradition lives on.
Hey, it still lives on, buddy.
Season 3, and you're still reclined. Well, I'm joining you.
I was just going to say, I saw you hitting the old recline during the intro music.
Goddamn straight I did. Well, I mean, it's an evening. There's still football on the TV, even though we know the results of this game.
I was going to say, yeah, we're no live football, but we have to relive this game, and I understand why.
Yeah, well, and this is a lot less stressful this time through for me.
Yeah, you know the outcome.
Yeah. Will they let me bet on this game?
How funny is that?
Well, welcome to the Whiskey and Wine podcast, season 3, episode 59.
Whoa.
Whew. Hot damn. That's a few more than I thought we'd get through.
Yeah. We're doing good, buddy.
Yeah. Well, we've got we're trying to be more consistent with guests because clearly I think you guys enjoy our dulcet tones, but probably enjoy our guests a little bit more than us. So for our opening volley of season 3, we have invited on once again Mr. Derek.
Oh.
Hey!
Thank you. Happy to be here. Happy to be back. Do you guys have a merch store or something? Because I feel like at this point I need to buy swag so I can represent.
Oh, well, luckily for you, you're sitting in our merch store.
Oh, this is the merch. All right.
Welcome to the Whiskey and Wine merch store.
Well, and here's fresh, hot off the presses 4 hours ago.
Oh, geez, what did you order?
I didn't order anything. Why is it always what did I order? God damn it.
Well, I feel like Mike would know about it if he had ordered it, so it feels like you did it.
Thank you, Derek.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm typing it in the com. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, jeez. What am I looking at here?
It's our website.
Oh, shit. Look at this.
Yeah. Updated, and there's a store. Now, can you technically pay for anything in the store yet? No. But I got the store up. So if you scroll down, you see some. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So what do our listeners can is it Venmo currently?
It's absolutely nothing. They can give us cash at Tapforia, and I'll just hand deliver if you're in the Portland metro area. I'll just hand deliver for now, or I can mail it to you if you really want. There's no shipping and handling fees.
Would you like to see the website, Derek?
I mean, it's an impressive looking form that I can't fill out and buy anything with, but I like that there's a fillable form.
Just email us. Like, it's not that hard. Or send in a comment, or comment on Instagram something, and we'll get it to you. But now you can see the shirts on the website. We're official.
All right. Nice job, buddy.
Dude, I didn't even intentionally set you guys up for this. Like, I was just curious if there was somewhere I could go to get a hoodie or something like that. And Alex launches into this. By the way, I made a website thing.
Well, we've had a website, but it's been kind of a piece of shit for the first 2 seasons because, as we all know, I suck at anything IT based. Mike's just as shitty.
Yeah.
And the intern that I have so far for our social media, her ideas have so far been 0. So she's getting paid based on likes, and so far I'm pretty sure she's paying us.
Okay, hey, so we have revenue is what you're saying. I knew we were going to have a revenue stream someday.
McKenna, I need $20 from you because you suck at this.
Yeah. We actually had 5 people less this week.
You owe us.
All right. Well, hey, look at that. New year, new us.
Yep. A little bit of merch for you guys to pick up.
All right. Well, there you go. See, go to the website, fill out the form, and
or email us or
send cash
text us
via pigeon carrier or Venmo.
Yeah. Or just swing by Tapforia on a Monday or Tuesday when Mike's working and just slip him a few bucks there, and he'll slip a little something into your hand.
That's right. Keep it on the DL.
Well, I brought something out because it's opening of season 3. And we've got Derek here, who does truly appreciate really good bourbon and whiskey, and scotch and all of that. So I pulled out what I won in the OLCC lottery this last year.
Oh, winner.
Yep. It does exist. It does work. It does happen. It is real. I can attest to that.
I don't want to talk about it.
And and I am now holding my winnings of Blood Oath pack number 10. So it's Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, finished in Cabernet Franc and Merlot casks. It's a 98 proof, and they do one of these each year, and this one happens to be pack number 10. So cheers, gentlemen.
Here, I'll go that way.
Yeah, you
we'll
send it
relay
down that
this way. All right.
Perfect.
Mm. Holy crap.
Yeah, thanks for winning, buddy.
Wow. That's tasty. Huh.
Yeah, the nose is really good on this one. I'm sure it's the wine casks that it's finished in.
Yep.
But still, holy cow, that's really good. Yay, I like winning. I got to win more often. All right, well that I think this is going to be a good choice for our opening volley here.
Yeah. Starting off the season real strong.
So I can't help but notice that the start of season 3 here is coinciding with the start of another season that we're all participants in. Is that coincidence, or is this planned?
Well, I think it's more along the lines of we needed to end season 2 because we were going to be gone for a few weeks. Derek, you and I were very much gone for a while. Like,
Yeah.
As much as I'd love to do a remote episode, I think the 9-hour time difference was going to be a little difficult for us. So yeah, I mean, yes, we have ended the fantasy football season, and now we are rolling in to torture season, which is dance competition season. Which is
should we have a draft? Do we do a dance draft? This season,
we get to pick which competition we're gonna go to, and then somebody else is stuck with the rest of them.
Or is this like we choose the routines that we think are going to do?
That's what I was thinking about.
We're build your portfolio of routines.
That's what I was leaning towards.
All right.
Ooh, man, I should have paid more attention.
We have to, so in our league we have certain players, right? Well, we have to have a solo.
Okay.
In our dance league, you gotta have a duo.
Okay.
Gotta have a small group.
Okay.
All right.
A production. I don't know.
Yeah, duo trio is the same category, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's our flex. That's our flex position.
All right.
Shit. See, they said no more fantasy talk.
Yeah,
Big Mike's over here, fucking drafting a dance league right now. All right.
This will keep us occupied this weekend. When we're across the street.
Could you
coming up with what the rules would be for a fantasy dance draft?
Oh my god! And the scoring would be simple, right? Because it would just be points based on placement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might be onto something.
You'd have to pay attention during awards though, because you'd have to know what
Oh man, this is like an old school fantasy league.
Pen and paper.
Yeah.
There's no computer. There's no apps.
Yeah.
I'll bet you we could get Mary to keep track of it for us.
Official score.
Yeah. That way there's not like, I remember hearing a high platinum on that one. No. My group definitely got a platinum.
Oh, 'tis the season.
All right. So season 3 is not the result of dance starting back up, but more of just timing.
The timing.
The timing.
Yeah,
time of year.
I feel like we've been consistent. Don't we always kind of stop around the house? No, I guess we didn't between 1 and 2, right?
No, 1 and 2. It was later in the year we gave it a little
That's
break.
right.
I think it was right about the time school was getting out, and we all scattered to the wind for a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
there's no rhyme or reason to the seasons. It's not
there's zero.
Like season 4 could start next week, and you motherfuckers wouldn't know. Like, I didn't like season 3. Let's move on to season 4.
Yeah, it's kind of like we're just basing it off a wheel at this point, and we give it a spin and we see where it lands. Yeah. Hey, it's worked so far. So
yeah.
Hey, new year, new season.
New you.
Oh, buddy. A lot of news.
Yeah. New menu at my household. There's a lot more pasta being served at my house now.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah. Well, you and I get back from Italy, and all of a sudden McKenna and Joanna are going, will you make us carbonara? Will you make us cacio e pepe? Like, yep, I can do all of these things. Let me see how to do it the right way, not the American way. No, this isn't so hard. So I learned there is a limit to how much pepper you can put in the cacio e pepe pasta. That it does get a little peppery if you go a little too heavy. And I also learned that only half of my family likes the guanciale, which is the dried pork that's in the carbonara. Joanna doesn't necessarily like it, but McKenna likes it. So,
all right.
I'll take what I can.
Well, you have to. I want some pasta, so let me know when if it's every night pasta at Martson House, then I'll have to readjust my dinner schedule.
Yeah, this was the first night this week that I didn't make something pasta.
Seriously,
like Saturday, Sunday, like Monday, Tuesday. Last night was gnocchi. There was carbonara. There was cacio e pepe. There's ravioli. And tonight was just like, we have beef. Can I make something beef based?
Man, I'm getting off easy. I haven't had to make a single copycat Italian dish yet. So
don't worry, I'll text Michelle.
Yeah.
No, Joanna will text Michelle.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, well, so Derek's family and our family. We went to Italy. We did Rome, Florence, Sorrento, and Naples. And then ended up in Amsterdam for a long layover before our flight home. And it began early, but throughout the whole thing, Michelle kept a quote log or just a log of bullshit that was said or done while we were in Italy. And not that Joanna's thrilled about this, but she features in about 85% of that list.
It heavily features Joanna, much to her dismay. I noticed, like, somebody else would say something that was, sort of funny, or it'd be borderline, and she'd be insistent. Hey, that goes on the log. That goes on. I'm like, you're just trying to dilute it.
Yeah, there's a few in there that are like, yeah, no, that's kind of that's a chuckle. Yeah. Oh, there's a Joanna one. Yeah, that's a Joanna one.
That's a gem. Yeah.
So the first one that happened, so it's Europe, and the hotels that we're staying in, most of them came with a bidet. Not all of them, but most of them. And we've experienced bidets before in Spain and other France and such, but it's never really been on Joanna's list. And so she's like, I'm using this bidet. Like, it's here. I'm doing this. I'm going to be European. I'm getting this right. So we're in the first hotel in Rome, and I'm sitting on the bed. We're chilling. We're just trying to, like, gather ourselves before we do the next thing. And I look over, and I'm like, are you sitting on the bidet? She's like, yeah, I'm going to use the bidet. I'm like, did you already go poop? No, I'm going to use the bidet. Like, wait. Look at the drain in the bidet and tell me whether or not you should try to poop in the bidet. She looks down, and it's just like it's a sink drain at the base of the bidet, really. Like it's built to like take little flecks of what's left over and let it wash down. It's not built to take post-travel logs.
I can't help but think there should have been a disclaimer at the start of this episode.
That's every episode. So,
Oh, Lord.
like, get off the bidet and go sit down on the toilet, then use the bidet. So, said actions are taken. And I think we were waiting outside for you guys, and I think we were there for like 30 seconds, and I go, hey, Michelle, did you know Joanna almost pooped in the bidet?
Oh my gosh.
And the whole story's relayed, and Michelle just pulls out her phone, and such began the quote log and like experience log from Italy.
There it was. That was the first thing, huh?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I was like, hold on, she did what? And part of me wishes Alex had let her do it. Just hadn't. Hadn't stepped in and just let it happen, because it'd be such a better story. It's already good.
Yeah,
No,
yes and
don't get me
no.
wrong, but
That would have generated a phone call to the front desk.
yeah.
No.
See, I
No.
say it as an outsider. I wouldn't have had to deal with any of the
Oh,
aftermath.
no, absolutely, you know what's going to happen. It's going to be Joanna looking at me going, I can't call the front desk because I can't have them know that I did this.
Yeah, you gotta fix it.
Stupid Americans.
Yeah, you have to fix the situation.
Oh, and that grumpy old, I don't know, he wasn't that grumpy, I guess. That old Italian man at that first hotel, yeah, that would have been fun telling him that.
I
story,
need
what had
I need
happened.
housekeeping to come in and clean whatever my wife just did to the bidet out. She doesn't understand.
Oh, yeah.
Nope, it would have been me.
Oh, no. Yeah.
No, like as funny as you think it would have been.
Oh, it would have been, because I wouldn't have had to deal with any of the aftermath. So
Thanks, Darren.
I just would have had the funny story.
And there would have been a part 2 to this story. How Alex.
Yeah.
scooped poop out of a bidet.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Like, where's a grocery store around here? I'm going to get a cat litter scoop.
Oh my gosh.
There might be a market. We might have to invent like a garbage disposal unit that goes on the base of the bidet.
The fuck?
Yeah.
That sounds dangerous. If I'm dangling anything into a bowl, the last thing I want is a goddamn garbage disposal attached to it. And what the fuck are you eating that you need a garbage disposal for your poop?
All that processed American food.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, good. See?
Yeah.
And this was day 1 here?
This was day one.
Oh, man.
Like day 0.5. we landed on, so we took off on the 24th and we landed on Christmas Day in Rome, and then spent, essentially a evening and such there, and then took the train up to Florence for the next bit. But yeah, it was day 0.5, and I mean, by the end of that night, we had a good number of quotes already. So, and I mean, it's like I could show you the list. You got to scroll to get through it.
It's a good trip so far.
Yeah. I got some personal favorites on that list, and that text from you that night was definitely one of them.
Joanna just tried to poop in a bidet.
You're gonna have to rate the stories at some point on our whiskey scale over here.
I was gonna ask that. I was like, do
Oh.
we? Yeah.
I mean, that's damn near a platinum right there.
No, yeah.
I think it's a platinum only because I didn't have to clean it up.
See, yeah.
since there wasn't a part 2 to it.
Yeah, and again, this is where we differ. Like,
Yeah. What's below a silver?
oh no, I'm still gonna give it a high gold. Don't get me wrong; it's a good story. I just think it had room to grow.
the conclusion wasn't quite up to, wasn't
Yeah.
quite there.
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna say I feel like that fairy tale ended just fine.
There you go. It had the perfect outcome for you.
Yeah.
You caught it in time.
Yeah.
Ba-dum-bum.
God. What I don't know, Derek. What was the memorable thing for you? Like
The next day, when we got to Florence,
Mhm.
I think that's the highlight for me was the museum trip. We went to the went to the Accademia in
Yep.
in Florence, and that's the home of Michelangelo's sculpture, the David.
I remember you guys sent me this photo. I know where,
Yes.
Yeah,
Alex wanted you to know he was there.
Yep.
Yep. I remember.
Yep.
I know where this is going. I'm actually going to pull it up so I can relive it with a visual.
Given what time of the day we were there, what you probably got that text at like 7 a.m. or something like that, right? Maybe. But we went through the museum,
Uh-huh.
the entire museum,
The whole thing.
the whole museum, and the David is
It's prominent.
very large and prominent, right? It's in a main intersection there, and big, kind of grand ceiling, and so it's it's noticeable. And we walked around it. There was a guy sitting there. He was sketching it, right? This is a
Yeah.
yeah, that's the picture.
Yeah.
That one right there.
I found a penis.
Yeah. Alex was so pleased with himself. And I guess we where were we? We were in the bookstore, like at the end of the museum, when they're trying to get you to buy all the tchotchke before they push you out the door.
Yeah.
And we were talking about what he was holding in his hands, because there was some debate about what it was he was holding on to. People couldn't. They're like, "What is that? Is it a sash? Is it a what is it?" So we were explaining to members of our group there that he was holding on to his sling. Right. That was he had the sling in one hand on his shoulder, and then holding on to the other end of it with the hand down by his hip, and he's also got like the stone or whatever
Yep.
in his hand, and it's like, well, that's the sling he used to slay Goliath. And Joanna's just like, wait, it's that David? and I guess I wouldn't expect everyone to know what Michelangelo's sculpture of the David is like.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're going there, you might you might look into it, like, oh, hey, we're gonna go see this famous thing. What's this famous thing about, right? Nope. That was the thing about Joanna. Like, she went into this whole Italy trip just cold turkey. Like, she was not looking. And she's just like, oh, it's that David in the middle of the museum bookstore. And Michelle and I are like, yes, it's that David and Goliath, right? Like, welcome to Italy. Well, glad you could join us. So all like for days we were just like, oh, it's that David.
In fact, our text string was named "It's that David,"
It's that David.
and then it was "David has a nice crack."
Yeah, Alex.
I was
Alex
proud
made
of
a
that
dad
one.
joke that he was very proud of. Yeah.
Hannah is walking behind, and I go, Hannah, look at that. There's a crack in the statue. And she looks up, and then I just start giggling, and she's like, oh, God, it's a dad joke, isn't it? Like, yep.
I'll be here all trip.
Oh, I was so proud. I had to fly 9 time zones away for that joke, but it was fucking worth it. Yeah. All right, yeah. I think it's that David was up there too.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So I don't know many of these stories. I heard a few the other day, and I had some of the text messages, but I do have a question. I really hope where were you guys at with that wonderful dinner plate that you sent a picture of?
Oh yeah.
It might be. I feel like it's a few days away because I did get that 4 or 5 days after the David photo, so I might be skipping your story. So you can answer that later if you want. But
No.
I really hope.
You got the gist of the David story.
Yeah.
But as you were explaining a story, I came across the photos. I'm scrolling. I'm like, oh, geez, there's the Mother Ginger statue. Keep going.
Yeah, found the bearded.
And then I was like, oh, that's right. New dinner plates. I was like, I hope they sold those at the gift shop.
The best part about that is Derek's line of like when you're serving somebody dinner on that plate and they get to the bottom and that's what's on that's the design on the plate.
Every time I use those, man, I would just be sitting there watching other people eat, just waiting for them to get to the bottom of that plate and uncover the picture. Just be like, "Are you gonna eat your food?" No, I'm not hungry. I'm just here for the entertainment.
It's
like,
great people watching.
Oh God. So the plate that we're describing, and I'll put the picture up on socials. So we were in the museum in Naples that houses a lot of the stuff that they took out of Herculaneum and Pompeii. And unbeknownst to everybody in our group, apparently they were very open with a lot of the sexuality back in these Roman times. Like I knew they were a little open, but some of this stuff, like there are pedestals with just giant stone dicks carved into them. There are what look like coat hangers that are just giant dicks.
Oh, interesting.
The oil lamps were some of my favorite.
Yep. You gotta have a guy with an enormous schlong, and the oil lamp. The light comes out of the tip.
Yep.
We got that one. So the plate though is a very ornate design around the outside of this plate, and then in the center of it is just a dude bending over a woman and railing her.
It's like the billboard in Schitt's Creek. You ever see that show? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
exactly.
Right.
Yeah. It is fully like you would find this on Pornhub.
Yeah.
Essentially. And so it was like what the actual whose plates were these? Yeah. And what did you serve on these? And was this just like, fucktard Mike and Alex in Pompeii, like we had plates made with this, or was this a thing? Like, did you go down to the coals of Pompeii and like, oh look, they've got the new plates in.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at these.
I'll take a setting of 4 of the the backdoor plates. I love the plate. I was like, man, that would be a very good conversational piece.
Get one of the plate hangers like your grandma used to have in her house.
Oh, jeez.
Just have that up on the wall and be like, oh, yeah, that's a reproduction of a
2,000-year-old, Roman artifact.
Really, this is history. Yeah. There was a lovely painting of this guy and his wife, and he's just copping a feel on her naked boob. I mean,
weird.
Yeah. And all sorts of stuff that artistically I appreciated.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking at the map for the museum, right? Like you walk in and it's a QR code that you can scan on your phone, and then you've got the map while you're wandering through the museum, and it's like everything's labeled with what's in it, and it's like, oh, here's the Pompeii artifacts. Oh, here's the whatever it was, and one of the little side wings was called the secret room.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what's in the secret room? So we get up there, and it's all of this. It's just like,
There's, a painting of the Pan or whatever the goat god is, having his way with a maiden.
Goat.
Oh, and then the one with the goat, yeah. The goat god having his way with a goat, too. Like, wow. You imagine if you're the guy excavating Pompeii and you're like, The fuck is wrong with
Yeah,
you?
what did you find today, Joe?
You're never gonna believe it.
Here's a fresco of a dude banging a goat.
We found the bestiality section of the kitchen.
Like, should we maybe dig in a different part of the town? I'm starting to feel like there's a trend over
Yeah,
here.
why don't we just skip this little section?
This is the red light district of Pompeii. Oh God, it was beautiful. watching especially Hannah and McKenna turning bright red, walking through this room, like trying not to look at it but staring at it at the same time.
Yeah.
Morgan is, running around taking pictures of just about everything.
Uh-huh.
She had a friend at school who spent a year with his family in France. And so he'd go all these places in France and surrounding countries, and he'd be sending pictures back to their group chat and sharing the things. So she was doing the same thing when we got to Italy. She was posting, sharing with him and some of her other friends. And
here's the Colosseum.
There were things that she's like, I'm not taking a picture of that day. She did not want a photo of the David on her phone. Like, it's like, what are you worried about?
Oh, I mean, Hannah took a picture covering
Oh yeah.
his nakedness.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Michelle was like holding the phone up, taking a picture of it, and Hannah slid her hand in and covered up his.
That's freaking awesome.
Like, nobody needs to see that. Like, what?
Michelle has a tendency to take photos from our trips and stuff like that and turn them into like the next year's calendar.
Oh, yeah.
That hangs on the wall in the house, and I'm hoping that picture of Hannah sliding her hand in front of the camera, covering up the David's genitalia, shows up on the family calendar at some point.
You're like, and this defines a lot.
Yeah, it's a good memory there.
Well, and then we found the apron when we were walking around in Rome.
Oh yeah.
They have made an apron of like just David's body, and so you can put it on, and you've got David's body with his, his junk there.
Yeah.
Well, you move that one aside, and then they've got David XXL, and they have replaced David's genitalia with a fucking forearm.
Yeah.
Like, it's enormous, and I regret not buying it for €8 just for the shock value, because I can find the regular one,
God.
but I can't find that XXL one, which
Yeah,
would
that's the limited edition you have to buy there. Oh, that's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, I could see you out in the backyard this summer sporting that apron there,
especially
at the barbecue.
when your wife is like floating in the pool.
Yeah.
And she and my wife are texting me to bring things, and I walk down in that apron with a new bottle of Prosecco or something. Like, there you go. Yep. Hey, my eyes are up here.
That's
my
right.
eyes are up here.
That's right. Focus, ladies, up here.
All right, should we take a little break?
Yeah, I need to start searching the internet for that apron.
The Whiskey and Wine Podcast is brought to you by Tapforia, Tigard, Oregon's first growler tap house. Founded in 2014, Tapforia has 28 taps, including beer, wine, cider, seltzer, and kombucha. Did you know that they are a bottle shop as well now? Stop in for a pint, glass, growler, or a 4, 6, or 12-pack of the latest and greatest offerings of our local breweries. Located on Highway 99W in Tigard. Visit tapforia.com and follow them on social media to see what they have on tap each day. Tapforia, craft beer and wines.
More stories. Well, you guys have good stories. I want to hear about the trip.
Yeah, I'm just worried about how many Joanna stories we can.
Oh, yeah,
we
we
can tell
can't. I
before
feel-
we're in trouble, or are we already there?
Well,
I don't-
look, you're assuming she's going to listen.
Okay, there is that.
All right.
But you led with she tried to poop in a bidet story.
No, that was a strong lead-in.
Yeah,
Like I was like, holy shit, this is number one on the list.
Well, I mean, it was the first night.
Yeah.
And then day 2 in Florence was the it's that David.
Yep.
And then day 3 in Florence, we had reservations to climb the Duomo. So the cathedral,
a giant
yeah,
church cathedral with an enormous dome on top.
yeah. So like the artist Brunicelli, like he painted the frescoes that are like on the interior of the dome, and so you can see them from the ground. Obviously, you can just go into the church and you can walk underneath and look up. But the climb to the top of the Duomo allows you to see them from just inches away.
Yeah. There's like a ring around where the dome really starts. There's a walkway ring that goes around there,
it.
which is well protected, and like you're not gonna fall off of this thing, but you're still way the fuck up in the air.
Yeah. What was it? It was like 464 steps or something to get up there.
Yeah.
And then you go up past that. You climb up the dome to the little cupola thing on top.
Yep.
And you're outside, so you can see all around you. We did the early morning one.
Yep.
So yeah, had a good view early morning. Nice lighting up there.
Yep.
It was fun. We got up like we were one of the first ones in line.
Yep.
We weren't very far back, so we made the climb and we're up there. And by the time we had walked around the outside and taken our pictures and done all that stuff, it's like, all right, well, we could probably head down and go, move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
But we couldn't get out because there's only one way up and down out of there.
Yep.
And the tail end of the group, because there's you reserve a kind of a time slot, and then so they they let people in, and then they wait for those people to clear out, and they let in the next group. So we couldn't get down. They wouldn't let us leave the roof until like the very last person in the group had made it all the way up.
And some of these people maybe should have read the number of stairs that were involved, because some of them, were a little sweaty when they got up to the top, and like, you gonna make it down? Like, what, if you drop dead of a heart attack, how do they get you out of here?
There was an 80-something-year-old woman in front of Joanna and Michelle and I.
Yeah,
she was a champ. Like no problem.
And then there was the morbidly obese American couple that like she barely made it out the little ladder thing to get up on the roof. Like, ooh.
And then there's the the 20-something-year-old Italian guy that works for the cathedral doing kind of these tours, who climbs it every single day, multiple times a day, and he's probably 3% body fat.
Yep, he's very fit. Like he could probably just eat like nothing but bacon all day and still drop weight. And McKenna apparently thought he was the prettiest boy in all of Italy. Like she named him Matteo, even though she never actually talked to him. She didn't even really get a picture of him, but like she remembers what he looks like. That she later in the trip she named their child.
Oh shit! Okay,
like it was a whole thing. Like she was ready to go back to Florence and shoot her shot at this 20-something-year-old that works at the top of the dome on the Duomo.
And that was another kind of story that kept kind of coming up as we traveled through Italy, right? We'd always bring up Matteo. My favorite part was we were back in Rome because we just did Florence for a day. It was kind of an extra that I added on to the trip because I thought we'd be waiting for the Martins to show up like 2 days later.
Yeah,
they were waffling about whether they were going to stay in the U.S. for Christmas and come after.
Yeah,
so it was like, well, I'm not going to show up, tour Rome, then have the Martins show up 2 days later and have to see all the same stuff again.
Yeah.
So we're going to show up to Rome. We're going to sleep because we're going to be exhausted, and then we're going to hop on a train and go to Florence for the day and come back the next day and meet the Martins. Martins obviously ended up traveling the same time that we did. So, so the 1 day trip to Florence was just kind of, it is what it is.
Yep.
But we got back to Rome, and I think we were walking back to the hotel from like the Trevi Fountain or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we walked by this little shop, and they had little chef's hats and aprons out on these little child mannequins out in front of the store.
Oh yeah.
And the one was like girl themed and one was boy themed, and the boy themed like on the hat said Little Mateo or something like that.
Shut up.
I was like, oh.
McKenna. You could get this for your little baby.
Please tell me someone got a picture of this Mateo.
No.
No one?
Nobody got a picture.
He took a picture of the Martins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So his fingerprints are on my phone. You know, we can track him down.
Can we figure out his real name?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, sir. If you're listening in Italy and you're a 20-something-year-old that
Might be named Mateo.
and you work on the Dome of the Duomo, send us a message. We'll hook you up. Because I'm okay with her having a boyfriend in Italy because that's nice and safe distance.
That's what you say. You say that Mateo, he's
perfect.
The podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the kind of continuation of the story, the trip back down the stairs of the Duomo. Once everyone got up and they finally released us to start climbing back down, we're halfway down. You're in this solid stone spiral staircase.
How long is this taking? Just for
Up was probably a good 20 minutes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
Okay.
there was a couple of stops along the way. Like you
Yep.
stop. There's some statues, part way up. There's the kind of the half lap you do around the
dome.
circumference of the dome, the underside, so that you can see the frescoes and but yeah. So yeah, 15
All right.
20 minute climb.
All right.
So we're walking back down, and yeah, you're in this stone spiral staircase that was made for people who are not 6'2", 240 on average, right? Like much smaller people. And Joanna just had knee surgery, right? Like right before we left. What was she on? Like 2 weeks?
Yeah.
10 days, something like that.
Yeah.
Like she'd had knee surgery,
Yep.
and here she is walking 20,000 steps, plus a day.
Uh-huh.
And granted, we're only on day 3 at this point, or 2.5, or whatever we want to call it. And her and Michelle are talking on the way down because, like, just this repeatedly walking down stairs, it's like, this can't be good for her knee. And Joanna's like, I talked to my, doctor. He said everything was fine. I told him I was going to Italy, and if he doesn't know what I'm doing here, then he's an idiot. And like, just without catching myself, I was just like, yeah, okay, David. Like you're calling your doctor an idiot. You're the one who tried to poop in the bidet. And I think it was just like the jet lag. Like I was so tired, and I just started laughing. Like, I cracked myself up at that point, and I'm in this narrow ass spiral staircase trying to get down. I just had to stop because I was laughing so hard that I had tears in my eyes.
Oh my
And I was like, Michelle, that's got to go in the log.
Add that.
Like, your doctor's the idiot, but you tried to poop in a bidet, and you didn't know it was that David. Okay.
Okay.
Also, did you manage to tell your doctor what your version of Italy looks like, or was he assuming Italy was, we get here, you drink wine, you see the Trevi Fountain, you drink more wine, there's lots of sitting?
Yeah, not 9 miles a day.
No. I'm fairly certain your doctor would be like, no, not okay. Not 9 miles a day, like 1.5 to 3. But okay. Okay, David.
I mean, she did great.
Yeah.
I mean, if she was having problems, she didn't say anything.
No, she trucked through it. I think there was some soreness here and there, but she kept going.
Yeah, but I mean, part of that might have just been that it'd been 10 days since knee surgery, and I'm sure she wasn't completely done with getting rid of the swelling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How much had she been resting before we went, and then
Yeah,
suddenly,
right.
Here you go, 25,000 steps. By the way, you're gonna climb 45 flights of stairs this morning.
And then climb back down
them, yeah.
45 flights of stairs. Oh.
Yeah, we went to Spain, 6 years ago together, just the adults, no kids, and we got done with the trip, and we sat down and had dinner, like I don't know, a week later or so, whenever it was we got back, and did it like a ranking. We like, hey, this is how we felt about the cost of the trip. This is how we felt about, the country itself. Like this is how we felt. Like we had
city by city,
3 or 4 different things. Which city was our favorite, and then kind of gave it an overall score.
Yeah.
So like we still need to do something similar for Italy. We did kind of an overall when we were sitting at the dinner table in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
On the last night before our flight home, and I think we differ, between the Martins and the Weavers on what maybe our favorite city was, but Florence for me was at the top of my list, and I'm a little bummed that because it was just kind of an extra that we weren't planning on doing, and we only had scheduled the one night. I was like, I could have happily spent a few more days here and axed like Naples off of the list entirely, right? And
but we don't know. Like
Florence.
before you go, you don't know,
right? Yeah, and you read things on the internet, or somebody else who's made the trip, but everyone's got different tastes.
Yeah,
different,
until you see it yourself.
Yeah. Like you can base it on other people's opinions all you want, but until you see
Naples was basically like Portland. Like there was a lot of graffiti. Man,
I think you did Portland dirty with that comment, because I know Portland's a little rougher these days than it has been in past years, but
all right,
Naples was
rough.
Was rough.
Yeah.
Really,
it was rough, and you can see that they're not like. So most of the places that we went, they're taking care of the streets. They're, the cobblestones are cleaned up. The cobblestones in Naples were the slickest goddamn things on the whole trip. And so Joanna didn't exactly take the best shoes to go walking around in. She took shoes that look really pretty, but maybe the rubber isn't really built for walking on wet surfaces. It's more built for walking on carpet and nice wood surfaces. So she's slipping all over the place, no matter where we are. Rome, but Naples was the worst. And so she finally figured out that her pretty little Tory Burch shoes were like the rubber compound's just fucking wrong. And so she finally stopped wearing them, and she was actually able to stay vertical the whole time. Like, she physically went down one point in Rome.
Yeah.
Like, we were walking to dinner, and she hit a wet part, and she turtled herself. Like, she went down, and then she, like, rolled over, and, like, her arms are up in the air and everything else. And this whole square sees her go down. And, a nice old Italian man comes over and helps scoop her up, and I'm helping getting her up off the ground. And like, yeah, you damn near blew your knee out because you wanted to wear your pretty shoes.
I missed the whole thing. I was in the front.
Yeah.
Like, the entire trip, I found myself kind of near the front, and there's 8 of us, and so we're this long, spread out like mother duck and her ducklings.
It looks like
everywhere we
kindergarten
go.
walking.
Yeah,
somewhere.
right.
We needed a rope.
Yeah, we just needed a rope. But yeah, Morgan and I, like,
you have a speed.
Yeah, and we had a destination in mind too. It's not like we were just out just wandering around. So I was walking fairly briskly.
Yeah,
and I know enough to stop and look behind me every once in a while, make sure, okay, do we still have everybody? And I had looked, and everything was fine. And we get through this square, and I turn down a side street, and I get a few steps down the side street, and I'm like, all right, let's look behind me here and make sure everybody makes the corner. And there's just nobody. It's Morgan and I. I'm like, where's the rest of them? So I peek my head back around the corner. Still can't see anybody. So Morgan and I walk all the way back to the piazza, and there's everybody. And suddenly I fell. I slipped. You didn't stop. And what the hell happened?
And it was just like there's a little water fountain in the middle of this piazza. and it just leaks enough that all the stones around it are wet.
Yeah, like a
And
6-foot radius or
'cause
something. Or
it didn't rain at all until we got to Naples towards the end.
yeah,
And so it was like the one bit of wet stone that she could find, she found, and she went down. Yeah. But that's the same bit where like so my high proof opinion for this week is the fucking gypsies. So I knew, and Joanna eventually knew, like 2 days before the trip, that there's a lot of gypsies around the Italian touristy areas. Like you get into some of the quieter areas, there's not a lot, but you get into some of these touristy areas and there's different kinds of gypsies. Some of them are just begging. Some of them are, trying to sell you a cheap piece of crap, or, a light up fly toy or whatever it is. Or in Florence, there's all these guys that line the bridge.
yeah.
And they know that like everything that they're selling is tied down to a piece of cardboard. And so as soon as the cops start walking down the street, they just like pick up the whole cardboard thing and they start booking the other direction. And they just go like 2 streets down and then they duck into an alleyway. And one guy keeps poking his head out, and when he sees
set up shop again,
and they wait for the cops to turn around and walk back the other, and they go set up shop again.
yeah.
Like it's a whole cat and mouse thing for for the non-threatening ones. But here in Rome, we went to dinner in what's essentially like Hell's Kitchen for Rome, and Derek found a great restaurant. Turns out they couldn't seat 8 people, which we found, not that often, but every once in a while. And so we got sister restauranted, which has happened to us before. And each time it's happened, it's turned out fantastic.
Yeah.
So they send us to another restaurant further up. We have a great dinner, but eventually, like, the kids are just toast. And so Derek agrees to, like, walk the kids back to the hotel, which is like a 15-minute walk or something like that. It's not terrible. And so I'm left there with Michelle and Joanna, who are having the time of their life with our waiter, who is very entertaining, but also is, is doing a good job, and they put out fantastic food. Probably some of the best food we had that whole trip.
Yeah, it's probably top 2
Yeah,
for me.
easily. So eventually they've had enough drinks, and we eventually pay the bill, and so it's time to walk back. Well, in between this little foodie neighborhood and where we're staying is just the Tiber River goes through there, and so there's a little bridge. So we start walking back, and we're getting to this bridge, and I look ahead, and I can see 6 guys just kind of doing loops at the top of this arch of the bridge. And so I just kind of say to Michelle and Joanna, I'm like, tighten up. Keep walking forward. We make it across the bridge no matter what. Don't stop. Don't talk to anybody. Just hold on to each other and keep going. And so we get to the peak of this bridge, and some guy is walking opposite direction, and he and I catch eyes. And so I know exactly what's happening, and he makes a U-turn, and he starts following us like on my, say, 7 o'clock.
Okay.
And so I just kind of say to Joanna and Michelle, I'm like, just keep walking all the way to the next street. Just keep going. And I wait until he's maybe 2 feet from me, and I just turn and I stomp at him, and I look at him and I go, no, sir. And he he's never had somebody like fully call him out. And so I just go, fucking gypsy. And he's like, gypsy? No, not gypsy. No. And he fucks off, and he and his buddies all like gather back up. And I'm thinking, all right, so if I didn't have fucktard 1 and 2 with me, who absolutely have no clue about what just happened, I would probably walk back across that bridge, grab those 2 cops that are on the other side, and drag them up to the bridge and just point at that dude and say, I saw him with a big fucking knife, and ruin their night. But because I had those 2 yahoos who were like 3 porn star martinis in, it's like, let's just get you home and safe.
Well, and what was it, like 2 days before we left for Italy? Joanna was like, "Did you guys know that there's pickpockets in Italy? Like they've got a problem with pickpockets." And it's like, well, yeah, most major metropolitan areas that have large tourist populations have issues with petty theft. Like that's just it. It comes with the territory.
Yeah.
But welcome to the conversation. We're leaving for Italy in 2 days. Yes, we know that there's, that we need to keep track of our belongings, and these are the common scams, right? Like the paintings.
Yep.
There's these cheap prints that.
Yeah.
Some guys got on the ground every other street corner.
Yep.
And the streets are so crowded that at some point, some tourist ends up stepping on the prints,
and they get all angry.
Yeah, they get in a huff that you've ruined their merchandise, and it's 50 euros or whatever whatever it is they're trying to con you out of. And
yep. And then like
the flowers. There was we saw the flower thing going down at the top of the Spanish Steps in Rome.
Yep. Oh, that I fucked with those guys too.
Yeah, that was the first time you were messing with them.
Man, they really didn't like. I actually
that was night one. Yeah.
Was that night one?
That was night one because everyone else was at the hotel sleeping except for you, Joanna, myself, and
Jackson.
Yeah, it was Jackson.
Yeah. No, I screwed with that trick is they walk around with these shitty fucking dead roses basically, and they like force them into it. You're just walking along with whoever, and they force them into your hand. Similar to in Spain, they do rosemary or that kind of thing. And
what was that herb?
Yeah, and so the idea is like if you take it, now it's yours. I can't take it back. The right thing to do is you keep your arms in, and if by chance they manage to wedge a flower into your arm, you just drop it on the ground and don't engage with them because you didn't ask for that. You're not asking for some shitty flower. But these tourists got conned into it, and they're like pulling out these wads of cash to pay for these shitty flowers. And so I walk up and I look at them and I go, you don't have to pay for them if you don't want them. Hand them back to them or drop them on the ground. If you want them, great. But if you take them, then you're a target. If you're walking around with those flowers, now their buddies know that you're a target.
Yep.
And you're an easy mark. And you will get hit up everywhere. And the gypsy just starts yelling at me in Italian and everything else. And so we kind of like start wandering off, and I turn around and I give him the old like hand under the chin, like, yeah, fuck you, you fucking gypsies. And they just start barking down the stairs.
They were just like, go away.
Yep. So yeah, my fucking high proof take is just, read up a little bit and learn how to deal with them and be aggressive with them, because most of them are just trying to con you out of like social engineering scams. And so like just learn how to tell them to go fuck themselves.
There it is, see?
Yeah. Don't be a target. Don't be a mark.
Tell the gypsies, fuck off.
Oh, fuck.
Well, yeah, my biggest concern was just that, when you're watching after 4 teenagers who have
phone in hand syndrome.
Yeah, very little idea how the real world works outside of their safe little community that they live in.
Uh-huh.
Right? Like, especially the girls, right? Because most guys, like, we keep stuff in our pockets.
Yep.
Right? Like, whereas most girls' clothing barely has pockets, right? Let alone a pocket big enough to put their iPhone into.
Uh-huh.
So what do they do with it, right? When they're done with it, they don't tuck it back into a bag or into it, right?
Nope.
They set it down.
Yep.
Right? So you're sitting at lunch or at dinner or something like that, and what do they want to do with it? They want to sit it on the table next to them.
Yep.
And if you're inside a restaurant, you're probably fine.
Yeah.
But if you're sitting outdoors,
Bad idea,
right? Like, people come along and they'll, try to distract you
Yep.
their own phone or something else.
Yep.
And so that you're looking at whatever it is they're showing you.
Yep.
And they can snag your phone and pocket it and walk off.
Yep.
Or they'll place something down on top of it, right, so that you lose sight of it. And when they pick that piece of paper or piece of artwork or whatever it is, right, back up,
Yep.
they pick up what's underneath it with it, and you like,
And then your phone's fucking gone.
It's like that's what I was just constantly on the lookout for. It's like, please don't set your phone on the table. Like,
Yep.
When you're done with it, you got to put it away. When you
Yep.
like, your bag does not get to hang on the back of your chair.
Nope. That's
Like,
the other no.
Yeah, you got to leave it in front of you.
Yep.
Trains, same deal, right? Like,
yeah.
You get on like the worst. Like we were riding the high speed trains in between.
Are bougie
the
as
cities.
fuck.
Yeah, and first class tickets on those trains are so affordable that we were first class everywhere. The one exception, right, was the train between Naples and Sorrento.
Mm-hmm.
It's a local train only. That's the only option this time of year.
Think like the subway or the Max.
Yeah. It's an above ground subway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And especially like you get to the Pompeii stop that's in the middle of the about in the middle of the trip from Naples to Sorrento.
Yeah.
And like we were first on the way back from Sorrento to Naples, we were the first stop, right? Sorrento is the end of the line. We got on that train and we could not sit down. It was standing room only. And we're at the first stop. So you hit Pompeii, 40 minutes into the trip.
Yep.
And it's the afternoon, and so people have finished for the day. It closes in like another hour or something like that. So about 1 billion people are trying to cram themselves onto this train that
shit.
started out standing
Already
room
full,
only, right?
yeah.
And so it's the perfect opportunity for somebody to be on that train looking for an easy,
an easy mark
score, right? And it's like you lose track of your bag or your purse or your phone or whatever it is, and it could easily go missing.
Yep.
Other than just those common gypsy, scams that were going on, like we didn't have any trouble, but
no.
Yeah, all of those high tourist traffic areas, the Spanish Steps, the Trevi Fountain, some of those choke points in between the kind of the historic center of Rome and the neighboring communities.
Yep.
Right? Those were.
Yeah, the bridge over towards the Vatican and that. You could, no matter where you are, you can see that there's an issue there. But if you're paying attention and you're like moderately competent, I think you're okay to get through that kind of a thing. It's just like the problem is that there's enough tourists of all nationalities that go through these places that are not cognizant of this thing that it is worthwhile for them to keep trying to do this stuff.
Just like any scam, right?
Yeah.
Statistically, it's just numbers.
Yeah.
You have that many people, they're going to find someone.
Yep.
And to be fair, at no point did I feel unsafe.
No.
At any of the places we went in Italy. Like it wasn't.
The most unsafe I felt was walking across that bridge with the ladies. But that's
too, yeah.
But like, if it had been the 8 of us with you there too, I would have felt fine because that's an easy, like, you and I can take out any one of those 5'2", fucktards. Like,
yeah, and they were there, like they were on the bridge when I crossed with the kids.
yeah.
But they were just camped out on the side of the bridge, like they were just leaning against the rail, like goofing off amongst themselves.
Yeah,
they
were
doing anything.
They're waiting for the drunks to come back from the bars.
So yeah, I walked the same path, past the same people, had a completely different experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't feel any different in Rome or Naples than I did in New York when we went there in the previous year.
Yeah. Or in any of the cities in Spain or any of that. Like it's all just a manageable risk.
Yeah.
Like or if you're in Portland, after a Blazer game, same thing, manageable risk.
Yeah.
It's just that it's a lot more inconvenient if somebody snags your phone in Rome than if they do it in Portland.
Portland, yeah. the language barrier, right?
Yeah.
Poses a problem, and
replacement of a phone. Like there's not a Verizon store in Piazza Navona,
no.
unfortunately. So,
But you can get a donut the size of your face.
Yeah, you can. Holy shit! I'm not kidding. That goddamn big round.
Oh, donuts.
It was enormous. I can't believe Michelle never got one.
I know. I still can't believe. Like we stayed there 3 nights. I can't believe somebody didn't buy one of those
No,
donuts.
no one. The kids.
Nobody bought one.
Nobody.
Oh,
Nobody bought one.
man.
I think we just looked at it, and I mean, we're eating such good food while we're there. Like everything is so fresh and so wonderful. And then you look at this enormous fried donut, and you're like, I don't think I need that right now. I don't need those calories.
Yeah, that was true. Every time we were walking by him, we were either on our way to eat or on our way back from eating.
Yeah.
So it was never,
It was not an option.
No.
Well, what do you guys think of Blood Oath Pack number 10?
I'm a fan.
Yeah. I'm super easy drinker.
I'm on glass number 2.
Yeah.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
I'm trying to recall. I've only had one other Blood Oath. It was number 8, and I'm trying to compare. But it's been like
A hot minute.
yeah. It was Halloween,
Oh.
and there was a lot of other whiskey consumed on Halloween. So my memory of the particular whiskeys I tried is a little fuzzy.
You didn't keep a notepad with
I
tasting
don't
notes?
remember, but I don't remember enjoying it as much as this one. So I'm a fan.
All right.
This is good. This is solid. So
I think my only problem with it is its availability.
I was
Well,
gonna
sure,
say.
sure.
Yeah.
Like it's an allocated bottle. You're very rarely ever going to see it available, even like at a bar. But holy shit, it's great.
Well, and like Blood Oath in particular is a I'm gonna get it wrong because I'm not referencing anything, and like I haven't studied it that in depth. But I believe it's like a bunch of like orphan barrels. Like it's a bunch of one-off barrels that they blend
Huh.
and then finish, right? And so
Yeah.
obviously this one in the Cap Franc and the Merlot casks, right? So I think that's what it is. I think it's like a bunch of orphan barrels. So it's a pretty limited release every year anyway.
Yeah.
Like there's just and they're all different because they're
How it's blended and
yeah,
what
right?
they're finishing in.
yeah,
and-
what barrels they got to
Yeah.
put in it. So
Huh. Well, shit. Limited or not, it's damn good. It's complex enough that like the first few sips when we first started are significantly different than they are now.
1,000%.
But it is just as tasty now as it was when we first opened it. So
yeah, and I'm a fan. Like the proof is good, right? It's not running,
it's not running hot.
No, but it's not 80%. Right?
Yeah.
It's not like it's a good proof. It's close to that 100 mark, right?
Yeah.
Just under it.
It was super close.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is great because you still get a little bit of warmth, but you're not cooking your taste buds, and it's not just all sugar.
Yeah.
I don't know, Derek. You as our guest, you get to rate
I
first.
get to lead off.
Yeah.
I see. I remember from my first guest experience here that you guys are kind of like you're the Russian judge when it's the U.S. when it's the U.S.'s turn on the uneven bars. You guys are the Russian judge.
Wow.
Because I feel like I scored the last one significantly higher than the two of you did. I don't even remember what we drank. I'm sure we
He
could
just
reference.
remembers we're the Russian judge.
I just remember being like, I was like, oh, dude, this is high gold, and you guys were like, yeah, it's a silver. Or, I'm just gonna give it a gold or something like that. But I'm a fan. Like I said, I like the. I'm a big fan of cask strength. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
For the most part, the ones that are between 40 and 45, I'm usually not a fan of. This one is, not obviously, it's not 120 or something like that, but
Yeah.
but at just under that 100, I'm liking it. There's enough complexity there, and it's not blowing out your taste buds, and
Yeah.
the aroma. Like I sat here for the first minute or two after we poured it and just
Sniffing it.
Yeah.
just nosing the glass, and like this one's super enjoyable. I'd give it a high gold. I'm gonna go high gold.
All right.
Starting off the season strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, Russia. Let's hear it.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Yeah. It's no vodka.
This is how we do it in Mother Russia.
In Russia, whiskey drinks you.
Yeah. We steal your gold.
Go ahead. Man.
Oh, you want me to go?
Yeah.
I didn't want to hit. This is your bottle, so I don't want to.
No. I'll go last.
All right. Well, Derek's going to be very surprised, but I was going high gold right off the bat. So no, I like it. Like I said, of course, I know that we've had some chatters and some whispers about no one getting a platinum.
Yeah.
You know.
Bring us a fucking platinum then, people.
Well, the fact that you did have to win a lottery, and then not just win the lottery, but also pay for the bottle,
Yeah.
right? So for us to enjoy it. So thank you, by the way, Alex,
Yeah,
for
you're welcome.
opening this.
Yeah, to be clear, it is a chance to purchase,
yes,
not a you win. Here you go.
You
Yeah.
just win the chance to purchase. So,
And then they're anal retentive. They're like, you have 30 days to pay for this thing, or we're putting it back out there.
and you probably can't even change, because I know when you fill out the slip, you have to pick the store, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it got shipped to the Sherwood liquor store, who then called me and said, your bottle has arrived. You have 30 days to come and pay for it. And I
Damn.
was like, I'll be there in 12 minutes.
Was it 30? I thought it was like 14 or something.
Yeah,
like,
it might be less than 30
I
days.
thought you had like 2 weeks or something to claim it, and then otherwise they return it so that it can be sold to some other customer.
Yeah, no, it was like, you have a limited time, and I was like, I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'm on. Hang on, I'm getting my keys.
I'm in the car right now. No, very good bottle. I'm glad that you had the chance to purchase this.
I am
Thank
too.
you for opening it. And I'm gonna second up Derek's high gold with another high gold.
And I'm gonna follow suit. It's absolutely a platinum if you could find this on a day-to-day basis, and just pay retail for it, because it's not overly expensive. And
Yeah, I don't even know. I forgot. Should I ask? What was?
it's $65.
No
So
shit.
it's not horribly expensive, and it is unbelievable flavors.
This
and,
knocks some of the other bottles that we have drank at
Oh yeah,
and around that out of the park.
yeah,
So,
absolutely. But you just can't fucking find it.
Yeah, you can't go just roll into a liquor store and buy it
No.
off the shelf. So
I mean, shit, you can barely find it online. That's the problem. Like, there are so few bottles out there that it's a one of those things where most people won't ever see it. So I'm giving it a high gold just because it's so fantastic in flavor and
look at
everything
that.
else.
A unanimous high gold. Look
Oh,
at this.
my
Yeah.
goodness.
Well, cheers, boys.
Cheers. Oh yeah. Now it'll be official.
Now it's official.
Now it's a.
Season 3 starting out strong with a high gold.
That's right.
I guess
all downhill from here.
yeah, I guess we'll have to get something in a plastic bottle in a liter. Get our first silver.
Oh, it's good.
Your first silver. So you haven't done the mellow corn.
is
Is that what you're telling me?
Oh,
Is that controversial?
Oh, that's
Is that-
fighting words right there.
Who's the fan? Is it you, Mike? Are you?
No.
No.
I mean,
I don't hate it, but it's not a daily drinker.
Hey, you guys. I mean, I don't want to pull back the curtain, so I won't say it. But you've got a certain event coming up that you guys are
Yep.
trying to do.
Yep.
And I'm very interested to see how some of them score, because I've had a few of them. And
Yeah.
I know some of your bottles that you're selecting for this
Yeah.
event to be named in the future
Yep.
are they're bottom shelfish.
Yep.
I've had a couple of them. I'm interested to see how how it goes.
All right.
I'll be tuning in. You gotta let me know when that one airs.
Yep. Well, it's we each get to bring a few bottles, and so it'll be a battle. Now, I don't know how sober we'll be by the end of that battle, but it's gonna be a fucking battle.
I'm calling the room right now.
Just
Yeah, you're calling the guest room.
Yeah. January 15th.
You're gonna be snuggling with Booze Brian, aren't
Yeah,
you?
that's fine, man. He likes to take naps after these episodes, anyways.
Yeah.
I think the key is you guys need to ditch these glasses, and you need to get the smallest glasses you can find for that.
Oh, I've got
All
little
right.
teeny shot glasses.
Yeah, do that one.
Yeah,
Do that.
we're doing that. Yeah, no. Everybody gets a little tray with little numbered cups, and then we'll rate and yeah. Well, shit. Thank you, Derek, so much for coming on and opening up season 3 and helping share the good stories from Italy.
Yeah. I'm
So are we
happy to be
gonna?
here,
We're gonna have to sprinkle more throughout the season. I feel like.
Well, yeah.
I don't want to go through this list all in 1 or 2 episodes, but I feel like
It's a big list. I don't think we can hit it all.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, and just like we can't hang like on the weekends at the dance competition thing, right? Because spoilers.
Oh,
So
well, that's it's a teaser. I think we call it a teaser. We'll just give him like a snippet of something, and then see what he tries to figure out of that snippet. He'll just ask JoJo, and she'll be like, "God damn it, who told you?"
I need a copy of this list for myself.
Well, guys, thanks so much for coming on, and thank you all for listening to another season of Whiskey and Wine Podcast. Make sure you hit the website.
Yes, please hit the website, man.
Newly
Alex,
renovated.
yeah.
Newly renovated, and there is actually merch up there. It says that you can technically purchase. I don't know where that money goes, so maybe just like hold off on clicking buy until I finish building that bit. But let's see how we do. We'll put a post up when it's official. Otherwise, like if you see something you want, just shoot us a note. We'll drop it off. Mike's got nothing going on.
Oh yeah, no, I just chill most days.
Yeah, make sure to follow us on Instagram and check out YouTube and all the other fun things, and let us know what you want to hear. If you've got a guest that you think we need to bring on, I think this season we're going to be heavily relying on guests to keep your interest,
AKA to carry us through the season.
Yeah, because our talent only takes us so far, and since I can't get the fucking video working, it's not our beauty that's going to get us down the road.
All right. Well, the whiskey has set the bar high for the season.
That's right.
I have set the guest bar low for the season.
No.
I think our guests would disagree with that.
Yeah.
How many episodes will it take for those two lines to cross?
Yeah, maybe 3.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
This episode of the Whiskey and Wine Podcast is sponsored by Portland Party Bus, Portland's original party bus company, where the ride becomes the party. PDX Party Bus pricing is all inclusive. This means all the hourly rates include all fees and mileage. No surprise charges at the end of your party, just professional staff and a party all along the way. Visit them at pdxpartybus.com and plan your next wine tasting, birthday party, or just a great weekend. pdxpartybus.com.